There are several different places in Plato's texts in which it is stated or implied that virtue is sufficient for happiness. First, it is helpful to point out that the good is often identified with happiness. This is important because given this identity, then when one can be shown to be good, then it follows that he is happy. Thus, if virtue makes one good, and goodness is identical to happiness, then virtue makes one happy. This identification is most explicit in the Symposium, when Diotima is questioning Socrates, and they both agree that to possess what is good is to be happy. In the Gorgias, Socrates argues that the self-controlled person will be both altogether good, and here he briefly restates the unity of the virtues, and happy. The undisciplined and thus unvirtuous person will be licentious and unhappy. In the Republic, this comes up several times. Here, the ultimate aim is the possession of the good, or happiness, eudaimonia. Again, remember that the two are identified. This consists in doing good, which, as such, is accompanied by a feeling of pleasure. That is the state of harmony in the soul, an inner intellectual and moral order. It is the beauty and the health of the soul, the supremacy of the rational part in man over the lower impulses. The whole moral constitution of a man, when it is as it should be, is called justice. He draws a picture of the ideal just man who does not doubt the rightness of his principles, even if he has to suffer the death of a criminal, while the malefactor, for his part, triumphs. He argues in the Republic that the just man will always be happier than the unjust man. Furthermore, although justice is the kind of thing that is both valuable for its own sake as well as for external rewards that it brings, it is still the best thing for a man even if he gets nothing out of it and suffers what the world calls a terrible fate. Why? Because mental and moral health depend on the right relationship or harmony between the various elements in the soul, so that the highest of human desires, that for philosophy, prevails, and the emotions and passions are gratified to an extent compatible with the welfare of the whole. It is not a repression of desire, but a rechanneling of its course. Right and wrong, justice and injustice, are not simply matters of the relationship between man and man. Essentially, they are inward spiritual states of the individual, respectively a healthy and a pathological state of the psyche. The tyrannical man is enslaved and unhappy. He is subject to all his desires and fears that can never be appeased. He is at the mercy of the worst part of himself. He is a slave to his basest passions. Thus, he is least able to do what he wishes. He is poor because he is never satisfied, and he lives in constant fear. At Republic 587e, Socrates claims that the philosopher king is 729 times happier than the tyrant, though his math is in error. Correcting his calculations, we find the philosopher is only 125 times happier.